I grew up in North Philadelphia. I lived on the 2100 block of Stanley Street, and the Uptown was a haven for us as children because it gave us an opportunity to see all the entertainment for 50 cents. The neighborhood was a thriving neighborhood with stores and different establishments, restaurants, clothing stores, shoe stores, seafood places. If you needed it, it was in the neighborhood, and you didn't really have to go downtown a lot of times to get the products for what you needed. And when you went downtown, for most of us as children, that was a treat, to go in town. And so Gimbel's was the big store then, wherein it's Macy's and Lord & Taylor's now. Gimbel's and Lip Brothers were our icons as far as downtown were concerned. And so it all tied into, that time and that era. We lived where we lived. We actually lived on a mixed block. Our next door neighbor on the left was a white woman, Ms. Ratliff, and she lived there until she died. There were other white families on the block when we first moved on, and they eventually moved out. But overall, being a child, because my parents never spoke of it that way, we never realized if we were in a segregated area or not. We didn't go to the Northeast, weren't too much able to go to South Philly. There were just certain places our parents didn't allow us to go, and now looking back, I can understand the reasoning for it because of the families that lived in South Philly, which some parts of it is basically Italian. The Northeast had a conglomerate of different other, ethnic groups, but more than likely blacks were not acceptable in those neighborhoods. But because we never went there, we never realized what was going on. I didn't face segregation until I went south. At 9 years old was the first time I had ever had any inkling of what segregation was actually really about.